Hello all my beautiful little single unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Somuayina and I would like to welcome you into the fam. So in today's pick a card readings, we're going to be figuring out what's coming towards your love life during the month of May in the year 2021. And in order to help you figure out what's coming towards your love life during the month of May, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from. So I would like you to pick one of these groups intuitively. Group number 1 represents the Tattoo Tarot deck. Group number 2 represents the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck. Group number 3 represents the Pink Pain Tarot deck. And group number 4 represents the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. But of course, the timestamps to all 4 groups can be found down below in the description box as well as pinned to the comment section. So I'll just give you and the groups a little bit of privacy so you can make the right decision for you. So by now you've hopefully decided which group you would like to go with and which one resonates the most with you. Just as a little disclaimer, these readings are going to be very lengthy as well as detailed. I want these to be almost like you're receiving a private reading by me. So make sure that you're fully equipped with snacks, drinks, whatever that you need in order to be able to just relax and vibe with your reading so you can get the most out of this experience. Because that's truly the goal that I have with my channel. I want you to leave every one of my videos feeling better than when you tuned in. So I will be starting off the readings with the first group, which corresponds to the Tattoo Tarot, and to all of my other fabulous groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Tattoo Tarot deck. So let's get straight into your reading in order to figure out what's coming towards your love life during the month of May. So first and foremost, we have the King of Pentacles. This is an interesting start to your reading, group number 1. In the King of Pentacles, I see the King of Earth signs. So think a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus that's coming into your life and that's going to have a lasting effect on your love life. Now you may ask yourself how you can determine who this person is. So this person is most likely older than you. They have that king energy, which is a leader type of energy. They are very authoritative in a way, and they're most likely very successful at their job. So they have some sort of like position where they make the decisions and where others look up to them. That's what the King of Pentacles is like. Next up, we have the Hierophant. So I can see here that in conjunction to the King of Pentacles, group number 1, you really resonate with this person on a spiritual and deeper level. This is not a shallow type of relationship. This is not a shallow connection. I can see here that this earth sign that's coming into your life during the month of May is someone who is spiritually very like woke, or how should I say, they're very interested in spirituality, maybe religion, just some sort of higher power. And you two really bond over that. And you don't even need to have like the same opinion about spirituality. It's just you two being on the same wavelength and being able to have interesting discussions. It's not about agreeing, it's about taking an interest in one another's beliefs. So next up we have the 9 of Wands. Now group number 1, I can see here in the 9 of Wands that in a way you're feeling defeated, in a way you're feeling very tired, and this may be feeling tired from different situations with potential lovers who you feel have played you, or who you feel have just wasted your time in general. I can see here in the 2 of Swords that you're making this decision to cut ties with people who make you feel this way, and you're finally making that decision coming from an intuitive place. As you can see here in the 2 of Swords, your eyes are kind of like blindfolded, they're covered, so you have to make an intuitive decision based on what feels right. And I can definitely see here that you're going for the King of Pentacles, for someone who you connect with on a deep spiritual level, rather than those shallow puddles of people who you kind of think are okay and you kind of feel like you can talk to, but if you're honest with yourself, they are not really the right ones for you. So I can definitely see here that any types of shallow relationships don't don't have a space or a place in your life any longer moving on from the month of May. But it could also be because this King of Pentacles person is showing you what it's really like to be respected and to be taken a genuine interest in you. And that's maybe something that you've been missing. Next up, we have the hematite. So in the hematite, I can see very grounded energy, and this moves in really beautifully with the King of Pentacles. This is the King of Earth signs, right? And having these grounded energies around you, it kind of goes without say when you have someone coming into your life with very strong Earth sign energy. This is the type of vibration that keeps you sane. This is the type of vibration that doesn't have you doing crazy things, because if you've ever been in love and that feeling hasn't been reciprocated, then you know how it can almost make you feel like you're literally going crazy. I can see here in the hematite, in conjunction to the King of Pentacles and the Hierophant, that this person has you feeling safe, secure, and like you don't want to go into that place, and you don't need to go into this space where you feel like you're acting all types of crazy. Next up, we have the Bloodstone. So in the Bloodstone, I do see here that this person is most likely going to invite you on some sort of date. They're going to want to get out, get moving, get things done with you and around you. So overall in May, there is a lot of movement going on for you, group number one. There's some action that's coming into your love life. Next up, we have the Rhodonite. So in the Rhodonite, I can see here that because you're meeting such an amazing person, it's almost like, do you know that Ariana Grande song where she says, "Thank you, next, I'm so freaking grateful for my ex"? So it's kind of you feeling the same way, group number one. Just saying thank you, next, moving on from anyone who has been emotionally abusive or who has traumatized you. And rather than feeling like holding a grudge, you're just finding a way to forgive and to be really thankful that you met those people to begin with, because it really made you stronger, and it made you be able to recognize here in the King of Pentacles person that's coming towards you what a good partner is. Whether it's a woman or a man, that doesn't really matter. The King of Pentacles can represent anyone of any type of gender. So I do want you to know here that any type of exes that you've had, they're having a positive effect on you moving forward with this King of Pentacles person. So I just want to figure out what kind of letters are important in this person's name. So we have a G. Okay, so this is just a little piece of extra information for you, group number one, that you may find very helpful when moving forward, especially if there are two people who you feel have a lot of air sign energy that are in your life during the month of May. Knowing what letters are involved can help you distinguish which one is the right one. So next up, we have the Common Tortoise. So in the Common Tortoise, I can definitely see that you're feeling like this is someone who you can build a home with. This is someone who you can build a lasting relationship with, group number one. So if love is something that has been difficult for you, or maybe you've even given up on love, group number one, I do want you to know here in the Common Tortoise that this earth sign giving you all the time that you need to create trust and build a strong foundation is the perfect medicine for you. It is exactly what you need in order to feel good about love. So I can definitely see here in the Common Tortoise that this kind of steady and dependable energy is like healing for you. Next up, we have the Monarch Butterfly. So in the Monarch Butterfly, I can see here that you're almost like digesting your past. Okay, the Monarch Butterfly is all about transformation. You may remember that butterflies start off as caterpillars, and they go through this magnificent, amazing transformation in order to become butterflies. And in order to move on from what they knew, which is just life as a caterpillar, they have to shed that old self, right? Because just think about it. If you don't believe in who you are moving forward, then you're most likely just going to remain a caterpillar. So in order to complete a transformation and actually be able to use the wings that have grown, you have to believe that you are worthy of them, and you have to believe that you're now ready to be in a healthy relationship that is wonderful, amazing, and gives you everything that you've always wanted and needed. So that is where I can see here that digesting your past is something that the universe wants you to focus on in group number 1, and that you should put a lot of your time and energy and effort into. Next up, we have the gray wolf. Now, group number 1, in the gray wolf, I can see here that the universe wants you to nurture your connections and to make sure that you're still staying in contact with friends and family. So there could be a friend or a family member that really needs you. I can see here in the 9 of Wands that someone is definitely at their wit's end. And in conjunction to the gray wolf, this has to do with your pack. This has to do with the people around you. So in conjunction to your love life, group number 1, this means to ensure that you don't forget about other people in your life just because your love life is shaping up to be very interesting, but instead make sure that you're taking that extra care, those extra precautions to make sure that you're not that friend or that family member that all of a sudden disappears as soon as they have a new partner or as soon as they have someone in their love life who they're interested in. Next up, we have the sea eagle. Now, group number 1, in the sea eagle, I can see here that it's almost like your love life is getting this new spark and flame, just like the sea eagle that seems to be like on fire. There's a lot of passion there. It's almost like a renewal of your love life that's coming in May, during the month of May. So get excited for this, group number 1. Get fired up, get pumped about it. You're definitely going to be enjoying May when it comes to your love life, and it's definitely going to be a month that is favorable for you. Next up, we have the chameleon spirit. So you are definitely going to have to act as if during certain times or encounters. So acting as if means kind of being maybe more confident than you usually would be. But because during the month of May, everything is going so amazingly well for you, you're not opposed to just faking it till you make it. So for example, if you're intimate with another human being and you're usually not as confident in your body, I can see here in the chameleon spirit that during the month of May, you're just going to act as if. You're just going to kind of give yourself that extra confidence that you need when you need it, because you know that there's no point in second guessing or being self-conscious about your body at all. So you might as well just fake it till you make it until you start to actually feel confident. Next up, we have the hummingbird spirit. So group number 1, in the hummingbird spirit, I can definitely see that being in the moment is something that is way easier for you during the month of May than any other months. And it's most likely because being in the moment is usually something that is very easy when you're in love or when you're kind of like in a space with a new human being that excites you and about whom you would like to learn more. Okay, so you wanting to learn more about this person, you just getting to know this human being that is coming into your life, who is older, who's very mature and wise, and in a way has high social status. This makes you feel so alive and like you can truly be in the moment because your focus is 100% on listening to them. Next up, we have the lion spirit. So group 1, in the lion spirit, I can see here that it's important for you to be generous when it comes to your spirit, when it comes to your kind of like emotional state, especially if you've given up on love or you feel like love is something that you don't believe in or you're very skeptical about. I do see here in the lion spirit, group number 1, that when you feel that way, it's almost like you put up energies that protect you from finding love, that almost stop you from finding love. So on one hand, yes, you are protecting yourself by having walls or by being very careful when it comes to love, very skeptical when it comes to love, but at the same time, you are also, in a sense, blocking off potential lovers and potential relationships. So by you opening up and being generous and giving with your love and your time, you're allowing for there to be a possibility for a relationship to form. I can see here in the groundhog spirit that it is definitely in May May a time for you to let go of past lovers. So if you still have their numbers saved, if you still sometimes think of an ex and wonder what it would be like if you would reach out to them, don't do it, group number one. Delete that number for good, especially if you're tempted to write them or to get in contact with them. That is a complete no-go for you during the month of May. It is that time to let go and that time to get rid of temptation once and for all, okay? So don't allow yourself to get back with a toxic ex or even friend. Next up, we have the 8 of Bottles. Now, group number one, in the 8 of Bottles, I do see that again, there is this notion of letting go, of moving away, and understanding that your love life is going to be filled with everything that you need during the month of May. So why bother going to an ex? Why bother allowing yourself to go anywhere near a past situation, a toxic situation that has had the same pattern for a long time, and you know inevitably what it will lead to? Nothing. It will lead to you being hurt or you just wasting your time. So don't even engage. I can see here in the Tower that burning that bridge to an ex, burning that bridge to somebody who you maybe once had hope for romantically, is what's coming during the month of May. And it's being reiterated as you meet this King of Pentacles person, as you meet this person who finally treats you the way you've always wanted to be treated, who finally shows you what you truly deserve, which is kindness, love, and affection. So I definitely do see here that this is a transformational month for you when it comes to love. Let's do a few charms, shall we? So first we have these pliers. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. There we go. Okay, so one thing that I can see here in these pliers is that you can use this tool for so many different things, and the same goes for love during the month of May. Okay, you can use love in order to solidify and get closer to another human being, but at the same time, you can also use love as a weapon. You can also weaponize it by telling yourself that it hasn't worked out in the past, or you're single right now. Why would anything change, and how can you trust another person? So that's when love is something that makes you very skeptical and can actually pull you further away from a soulmate. Let's see, what else do we have? We have this beautiful bird. There we go, a nice little crisp photo. So here we have this beautiful bird. It's almost like a canary. It has some flowers that are very close to it. So I do want you to know that in this little canary spirit, we have the universe trying to tell you to sing your own song, to be yourself, and to not feel like you have to be in a conventional relationship. If that is not feeling right for you, group number one, then don't try and force it. Also, don't feel like anything is wrong with you just because you're maybe very interested in someone who is unconventional, or somebody who you would have deemed maybe not interested in you in the past, because we often tell ourselves these stories of the type of human being that's interested in us and the type of human being that we deserve to be with romantically, but that may not even be true, group number one, okay? That could be something that you just made up in your head that isn't even relevant. So let go of any fictitious stories that you've made up in your head, or anything that you feel like you deserve, and just be completely open to this person coming into your life. Because if you're too skeptical or you put up too many walls, then you might just scare the King of Pentacles away, and you might just make it very difficult for them to enter your life during the month of May, because they won't feel welcome, or they won't feel as though they will be well received. And rejection is one thing that the King of Pentacles hates. They cannot stand it, and this is just something that this earth sign heavy person is going to avoid at all costs. So make sure that you're not putting out vibes that are too defensive, group number one, should you be interested in allowing for the King of Pentacles to enter your life. So group number one, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful and that you like this lengthy type of reading. I really hope that it felt like a personal reading to you. Make sure that you leave a little butterfly emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that this is the group that you chose, and of course as a little token of good luck. If you're new to my channel and you watched your reading to the end, we clearly vibe with one another, so make sure that you subscribe in order to never miss another video. So group number 1, thank you so much for sharing this divine space with me, and I'll see you in another one of my readings. Hello group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle deck. Now let's get into your reading in order to figure out what's coming into your love life during the month of May, shall we? First and foremost, we have the turquoise. So in the turquoise, I can see here that you're prioritizing your health both mentally as well as physically. So anyone who isn't in alignment with you reaching your fullest potential health-wise is most likely not going to be able to get anywhere near you, group number 2. Next up, we have the Angel Aura Quartz. So in the Angel Aura Quartz, I do see you lightening up, okay, not taking life or love so seriously, and you're just really focused on being healthy. And to you, a part of being healthy is being in a space where you're not allowing for things to unnecessarily stress you out or make you feel uneasy. So group number 2, you're definitely being the bigger person during the month of May, and just overall you're all fun and games. Next up, we have the King of Bottles. So I can see here in the King of Bottles that there's someone who is entering your life as a romantic interest, and they are a water sign. Think Scorpio, Cancerian, or Pisces. In the King of Bottles, I want you to know that this person is most likely older than you. They don't have to be male or female. The King of Bottles is the type of energy which they exude, which is strong energy, independent energy. They are a leader. So on one hand, yes, they are very connected to their divine feminine and their emotions because they are the King of Bottles, which is the King of Water, and water is what corresponds to the emotional realm. But at the same time, they're also very assertive, decisive, and they know what it is that they want. That's why they are the king and not the page or the princess. Next up, we have the Ace of Cigarettes. Now, group number 2, in the Ace of Cigarettes, I do see here that you have this great idea about being with this King of Bottles person, so they most likely fulfill all of the criteria that are very important to you when it comes to love, that are very important to you when it comes to being with another human being romantically. And I can see here in the 9 of Cigarettes that you feel like it's about time, group number 2. So maybe you've been single for a while, a long time, and you've been losing your patience a little bit. And that's also why you're not so hung up on love anymore. So rather than trying really hard to be in a relationship, you're focusing on yourself. And because you're easing up on trying to be in a relationship or trying to find love, group number 2, and you're focusing on your health, like we spoke about in the turquoise, I see that because you're not putting such a strain on love and so much pressure on finding love, that is what is propelling the King of Bottles into your life. I can see here in the 6 of Pills that this is someone who you can picture having a family with, and vice versa, okay? They feel the same way about you. And I want you to know here in the 6 of Pills that building a family, living in the same home together, these are all things that come up fairly quickly with the King of Bottles, and this is something that you're most likely going to discuss with your next partner in due course, okay? In no time is basically what I wanted to say. Do know here in the King of Bottles that they are older than you, okay? They are more mature biologically, also emotionally, and they're someone who's very grounded, who you can always turn to for great advice. I can see here in the Death card that this is going to be a completely fresh beginning to your love life, okay? In May, everything is going to change, group number 2. Nothing is going to be the same as it was prior to the month of May. So I do kind of want to find out who this person is. Let's figure out a little bit more information about the King of Bottles. I'm just going to use some of my charms. So we have this butterfly. So I can definitely see here in conjunction to the King of Bottles that this is part of the transformation, right? Just like the transformation from a caterpillar to a butterfly, okay, the caterpillar is almost like the part that dies, the part that no longer exists in order for the butterfly to emerge. And that is one thing that I see in conjunction to your relationship with the King of Bottles as well. Next up, we have this this key. Now, group number 2, in the key, I can see here that this is going to open doors to new possibilities and new ways of thinking for you. So the key is really going to lead you to a place that you haven't been before. That's why you're just receiving the key and now, but it is favorable. Let's see what type of letter is within their name. So we have the letter S. So this is just a little bit of extra information for you, group number 2, on your King of Bottles in order to help you discern who this person is and in order to provide you with as much details as possible. So next up we have the 5 of Knives. So one thing that I can see here in the 5 of Knives, that in a way you're not quite ready for this, okay? I feel like the King of Bottles might want to move on more quickly than you do, group number 2. So the King of Bottles is all about moving into the next phase of the relationship. They're all about commitment, and I can see here in the 5 of Knives that that may really scare you or may make you feel like you're being pushed along too quickly. So this is almost like an intimidating scenario. This is almost a scenario that makes you feel like this relationship is just happening too quickly or is happening in a very rushed manner. And this type of commitment is something that you've maybe dreamt of or thought that you wanted, but when it actually comes to committing, I can see that there is a certain amount of fear here for you, group number 2. Next up, we have the Elephant Spirit. Now, group number 2, in the Elephant Spirit, I can see that you are trying to learn from the past and not make the same mistake that you once did. So you may have rushed into a relationship way too quickly in the past, and you may actually even still have some sort of scars or souvenirs from that relationship, be it, for example, pets, be it debt, be it kids, be it, just being tied together on some sort of lease or on paper. Maybe you've been married before. So I do see here in the Elephant Spirit that you just don't want to make any mistakes anymore. You don't want to be scarred anymore or bring any type of heavy weight with you from the past. And that is one thing that makes you feel very uneasy when you think of getting together with the King of Bottles and then being a little bit pushy about it. Next up, we have the Frog Spirit. So in the Frog Spirit, group number 2, it's important for you to first make sure that you've made the best of anything that has happened in the past. So if you still have, for example, debt that's tied to a past relationship or just overall some sort of fear and anxiety that has nothing to do with the King of Bottles that's coming into your life in May, but has everything to do with a past lover, past relationship, or just trust issues, I do want you to know here in the Frog Spirit that it's time for you to clear out any of those emotions that have remained, any residual fear that is still present, because you won't be able to move on if you don't do that. And that's why the universe has put this card into your reading, and that's why you are here right now watching this video. Next up, we have the Dolphin Spirit. So in the Dolphin Spirit, the universe wants you to see all of the gray areas and not feel like everything has to be so black and white. So in the Dolphin Spirit, keep in mind here that you might still carry baggage with you from past relationships, but at the same time, that doesn't have to mean that you're not ready to move forward. It's just all about how you organize that baggage and what that baggage is doing to you. Because if you have, for example, been in a relationship in the past and you committed in some way, shape, or form, and now you have debt or you have a living being, a living creature, it could be a pet, maybe even a child from a past relationship, that doesn't mean that you can't move forward and be happy, but it's important that you detach whatever came from those past relationships from hurt or from that person, from that negative experience, so that that part of your life can be in the present moment and move into the future in a healthy and beautiful, happy way. Next up, we have the Scarab Beetle Spirit. So in the Scarab Beetle Spirit, the universe is really just trying to remind you, group number 2, that magic works through you and not to doubt your self-worth, your value, and your capability to love again. In the Scarab Beetle Spirit, it's very clear that you have a lot of doubt when it comes to love. You have a lot of doubt when it comes to your value, when it comes to why somebody would want to be with you, and overall how you feel about how lovable that you really are. So in the scarab beetle spirit, you're taking some things with you from the past. So if somebody said something mean to you in the past in conjunction to a relationship, or told you that you weren't attractive, or something was wrong with you, or you couldn't do any better, I can see here in the elephant spirit that that is something that has stuck in your mind, and it's very hard for you to let go of the fact that that was said to you. And once you hear something, you can't unhear it, you can't unthink it. But in the scarab beetle spirit, this is a direct sign from the universe wanting you to let go of anything that someone has put on you that was really a reflection of them and how they feel about themselves and their life, and to not allow that to be a part of your moving forward and your future, especially if you're taking with you other people, okay, living beings into the future that were once a part of a past relationship. Don't make them suffer or have to pay for another person's mean or toxic behavior. Next up, we have the moon reversed. Group number 2 in the moon reversed, I can definitely see that your intuition may be confusing you a little bit, and that is something that makes you feel uneasy. Especially with the King of Bottles coming into your life and the moon showing up reversed, it can feel almost confusing as to why you haven't seen this light before, because the King of Bottles is going to be a completely new caliber of person, a completely different lover, okay, more respectful, more kind, and more caring than you have ever experienced. And I see that that's kind of throwing you off, and that's almost really sad to admit, group number 2, because when you realize that you've been used to abuse or toxic behavior for so long, or that's the only thing you've ever known, that then a normal, loving, or caring person seems odd, that's like a sad truth to come to terms with. But at the same time, it's beautiful to know that you have moved on from thinking that being treated badly, or being called too high maintenance, or being made to feel inadequate. It's so amazing when you know that you have moved on from that for good. Next up, we have judgment. So it is important for you to not judge yourself for the past, group number 2. I can see here in judgment that you instinctually try to always compare what's going on now with what you've experienced in the past. And I see that in conjunction to the elephant spirit. The elephant spirit is all about learning from the past. And I can see here in judgment that when you encounter a similar situation in the present moment like you've had in the past, you're analyzing all of the details, the smells, the sounds, the environment, the people who are involved, and you're really worried to make those same mistakes again. So maybe sometimes you don't even give people or situations a chance because you're afraid that the same thing will happen like in the past. And that's good to a certain extent, but at the same time, that can also keep you from growing, and that can also stop you from being happy in love. So just think to yourself, we'll just take work as an example, because I think that's a bit easier to explain than love. So if you, for example, try to start your own business, as many successful entrepreneurs have tried to do but failed, if you just quit then because you failed the first time and because it didn't work out then, you would never be able to see through your potential. A lot of successful business owners and entrepreneurs have had many failed ventures, and if they would have just let the past dictate their future, they would have never been able to turn things around. So that is the type of analogy that I see here in judgment in conjunction to the elephant spirit and the moon. You feel like you can't trust yourself anymore if you've made a mistake in the past. You're really hard on yourself, and therefore moving forward, in order to kind of avoid anything bad happening or failure showing up in your life, you don't even give certain things a chance. And it's very important for you to know that yes, you can fail, like we spoke about in the dolphin spirit. Two things can be true at the same time. You can fail, and at the same time, you can still be successful at the exact same thing moving forward. You don't need to fail again. So that goes for business, but also love, group number 2, because after all, we're here to talk about your love life. So moving forward, we have the King of Cups reversed. The King of Cups reverse is the same as the King of Bottles. So I do want you to know here that this just is again a confirmation pointing very strongly towards this water sign coming into your life who is older, more mature, they know what they want, and they want to start a family with you. They want to solidify things. But the King of Cups did show up reversed down here. Now, what that may mean is that first they're trying to feel you out. They're trying to find out how soon they can move into more commitment, potentially starting a family together, so on and so forth. But the moment that they feel like it's a little too much, the moment that they feel like you're intimidated, they're going to pull back and kind of pump the brakes a little bit, because they're not trying to scare you. They don't want to scare you. I can see here in the Chariot that they're just trying to make sure that they're moving forward. They're trying to make sure that they're paving the way for this relationship to actually last and go somewhere, group number 2. So in the Chariot, do know here that this is just them trying to bring all of their ducks into one row. This is them trying to align everything in a way that your relationship can thrive and can have a future. So the Chariot is eager to move forward very quickly, but again, when they notice that they are pushing you a little too much, or they're maybe being a bit too much of an eager beaver, they're going to pull back. But you may feel overwhelmed before they notice that you're overwhelmed. So I do see here in the 4 of Swords, group number 2, that is something that definitely worries you. You definitely feel like there is a little bit of fear of commitment, a little bit of commitment phobia, and you're worried that that is going to get in the way of your love life going anywhere, whether it's with the King of Bottles, King of Cups person that we have here, which is the same person, or whether that is, with a completely different human being. Just overall, generally speaking, I can see here in the 4 of Swords that you worry that you're too difficult, that you're too moody, that you just change your opinion too often, and that it may be hard for you to be with someone in the long term. I can see here in the 4 of Cups, group number 2, that 4 of Cups reverse, group number 2, that you're feeling a little bit of loneliness when it comes to this, because during the month of May, you don't quite know this person that we've been talking about here in the King of Cups as well as a King of Bottles. You don't quite know them well enough to be able to open up about your fears and the anxiety that you're feeling. So that leaves you feeling lonely, and that leaves you feeling like you can't really be 100% honest. So I can see here in the 6 of Diamonds that what you really need is some friends and family to spend time with you. Okay, in the 6 of Diamonds, I can see here that you may confide in someone at your work. It could be a coworker, it could even be a boss. If you're the boss, then it's the other way around. You're talking to someone who is close to you when it comes to your career and professional life, who you make money with. As you can see here, these 2 coins that we have, the diamonds, and your posture being very strong, being just upright and confident. So I can see here in the 6 of Diamonds that that's where you get your confidence from, and that's where during the month of May you're almost getting like your counseling from. You're almost kind of like getting your much needed therapy from. It's from your professional life and career. Then lastly, in the 8 of Diamonds, group number 2, I can see that this is actually going to have a positive effect. I know mixing your private life with your work isn't always the best idea, but I do see here that for the month of May, putting that emotion, passion, and being very open emotionally at your work is actually going to allow you to be so much more focused on your craft, so much better at what you do, because you have kind of like reignited that spark and that fire for your work. And that is allowing you to be laser focused and to put your head down and to perform on a whole nother level than you've been experiencing in the past weeks and months. So this is really awesome, group number 2. This is a great way for a difficult situation to shift its energy into. So rather than putting your energy into worrying a lot, you're kind of putting your energy towards work, and you're definitely going to reap the benefits and the rewards out of the situation. So group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Make sure that you leave a little dolphin emoji down below in the comment section, or a frog emoji, whichever one you prefer. I'm not picky. That way you can let me and others know that you made it to the end of your reading, and that this is your little token of good luck moving forward. Group number 2, thank you so much for being a part of this reading. I hope that you enjoyed it and that it gave you the clarity that you needed for the month of May. Know that I'm sending you so much love, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your May 2021 prediction. So you chose the Pink Pain Tarot deck. So this was a limited edition tarot deck for all of you who are wondering. So I don't think that it's still available, sadly. But let's start off with your reading. We have the Five of Pills. So in the Five of Pills, one thing that I can see coming towards your love life is a bit of a challenge, okay? A month where things are going to be moving at a quick pace in a new direction. I can see here in the Seven of Bottles that when it comes to love, it's your choice, okay? There will be many different opportunities. You can go with focusing on yourself. You can go with actually being with a human being with another person romantically, giving love a shot, even though you're maybe skeptical, okay? These are all options that are here for you during the month of May, so it's really up to you. And I do see here in conjunction to the Five of Pills that the most challenging thing for you will be to really find the time to make time for love, and also find the time to figure out what it is that you truly want. But maybe you just also don't want to confront yourself like that, and it is a little bit of a sore topic, so that may have you avoiding love altogether. I can see here in the Six of Bottles, group number 3, that your friends and your family are close by, and they're more supportive of you and your decisions than you most likely ever knew that they were. So I do want you to know here in the Seven of Bottles that while you may feel like there is some sort of pressure for you to have a certain love life, you know, to have kids by a certain age or be with a certain type of partner, that is actually not as true as you think it is. As I can see in the Six of Bottles in conjunction to the Seven of Bottles, a lot of unconditional love that's surrounding you. Next up, we have the Two of Pills. So in the Two of Pills, I can see a few excuses creeping up group number 3. So during the month of May, you're definitely going to be very busy when it comes to your career, and that may be the reason why you're telling yourself, oh, I don't really have time for a real relationship, or I don't really know if I'm going to be able to find someone who is okay with maybe taking the back seat to my career, or taking the back seat to my dreams. So I definitely see here in the Two of Pills that it's important for you to be able to be successful in your career and no one come in between you and your career, but sometimes you can also use that almost to self-sabotage relationships. I do see here in the Six of Cigarettes, group number 3, and by the way, I'm sorry for calling you out if I am in this video, but you know I'm an honest tarot reader. I don't like to just say what people want to hear. For me, I am 100% honest, and I will give you whatever messages that the cards as well as your guides are sending over to me right now. So in the Six of Cigarettes, I see a lot of inspiration for projects moving forward, okay? Inspiration when it comes to your career and ways how you can create more success for yourself financially, but also emotionally. So creating more time, more free time to just relax, to just do nothing. I can see here in the Six of Cigarettes that creating that type of stability is something that you've always wanted, and you're not going to let love come in between you and your success, which is really strong of you, group number 3. I can see here in the Badger spirit that you're very fearless and bold, aka during the month of May, being extremely fearless and bold may intimidate certain people, but that is a good thing, because having a smaller pool of people who are interested in actually being with you is often a really healthy thing, because you've already been able to weed out everybody who isn't for you anyways, because being with a partner who can't put up with your dreams, who can't support your dreams, not just accept them and put up with them, but support them, that is not a healthy place to be. I can see here in the Grasshopper spirit that you're taking leaps when it comes to love, leaps of faith, and you're moving into new uncharted waters and uncharted territories during the month of May, group number 3, and you're going to encounter lots of different people. You're being fearless and bold, and that's how you're able to meet different people and meet different romantic prospects. And at the same time, because people can see that you're fearless, you're bold, and you're strong and courageous, people who would prefer someone who is weak or easier to control may not even come anywhere near you, and may show that they're not interested, okay? They may tell you like, yeah, you're nice or you're cute, but you're not the one, okay? They may start to be flaky, ignore you, or just overall ghost you. And see this as a blessing, group number 3, because if someone who wants to be with another person that they can control doesn't want to be with you because they're afraid that they won't be able to control you, you have really done yourself a favor by putting repellent type of energy out there. Next up, we have the Rhino Spirit. Now, group number 3 in the Rhino Spirit, I see you overcoming literally any obstacle that's being thrown in your direction or put your way. You're an indestructible force during the month of May, and you're not allowing for anything to stop you. I see in the Chameleon Spirit that this is a much needed change, and that in a sense, you are faking it till you make it. In a sense, you're putting up a very strong face, and on the inside, you may just be like soft, mushy, and like a little piece of cotton candy, group number 3, okay? Your hard exterior is something that isn't 100% true. I'm sorry for calling you out, but at the same time, you know, this is a safe space. This is an open space as a Cancerian. From the entire zodiac, I'm sure my sign just really gets it, putting up this hard and tough exterior, but on the inside being very soft. That is something that you need to do from time to time in order to get things done and in order to just demand the necessary respect from other people, be it peers at work or romantic interests. Next up, we have the Earthworm. So in the Earthworm, I can see you discovering your purpose and also discovering the purpose of love. So the purpose of love for you is support. I can see here that there is no point in having a lover if they're not helping you financially, emotionally, physically, just if they're not supporting you in some way, shape, or form. It's important for you for a lover to have a purpose. You're not here to take care of somebody else, to be someone's caretaker just for them to not serve any purpose in turn for everything that you put in. You're all about reciprocity, and that is something that I see you being really strong in expressing during the month of May. Beautiful, group number 3. So do know here in discovering your purpose and discovering love's purpose in the Earthworm, you feel as though everybody has like their job. Each job is just as significant as the other. So you are not, for example, labeling someone as more important in a relationship because they make money and the other one stays at home and takes care of the household. You don't feel like one is more important than the other, but what you do feel is important is that everybody has their purpose and everybody has their thing that they're providing in the relationship, that they're bringing to the relationship. I can see here in the Andalusian horse that you are freeing yourself from any type of super conservative thinking. So rather than feeling like in a conservative way, like the woman needs to stay home and the man goes out and makes money, that's not how you're feeling or thinking anymore, group number 3. I can definitely see that you're completely moving on from that type of thought process. I see in the Common Tortoise that you understand that that may have been appropriate at one point in time, or maybe it's appropriate for certain people in your immediate circle or family, but that doesn't have to be appropriate for you, and that's completely okay, because you're all about advancing, you're all about going with the times. So even though people around you, or maybe even you may have grown up in a time or in an era where that was normal, for there to be a very conservative outlook on love and life, that doesn't mean that you want to carry that on. You want to steadily and slowly progress with the times and remain open-minded and strong. I can see here in the Gray Wolf that during the month of May, you are nurturing your connections, okay? So you're nurturing connections romantically, but also in a platonic sense. So platonic relationships being friends and family. You're not leaving them in the dust, and I can definitely see here that you're helping other people overcome obstacles. From seeing your reading, I can see that someone around you is going through a tough time, maybe considering breaking up or divorcing their partner, and you're helping them through that. I see here in the Five of Pills that this is a situation that you had already seen coming, and now it's boiling over, and you're there for them. So in your love life reading, there is this strong sense of being there for another human being, of love being something that isn't just romantic to you, okay? Love is something that goes for friends and family, in a way even deeper than for a romantic lover that you may have just met. So we have another card that popped right into your reading, which is the Eight of Cups. Now, group number 3, in the Eight of Cups, I can see you walking away from anyone who plays games and strengthening yourself yourself in that regard, understanding that you're not losing out on anything, that you're actually dodging a bullet by walking away from someone who is flaky, from somebody who ghosts, and just overall from anyone who you feel is trying to control the narrative of the relationship or is too conservative for you. I can see here in the Queen of Cups reverse that there's someone who you're interested in romantically and they have water sign energy. So think Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancerian. And the Queen of Cups, they have very divine feminine energy. Now, you may have considered being with a woman in the past or just someone who has very strong feminine energy, but this doesn't have to be a woman, group number 3. Keep that in mind. Like this, the Queen of Cups is just the energy that this person is embodying. It doesn't stand for an actual gender. Okay, tarot, or at least the way I practice tarot, does not discriminate race, age, size, origin. All of that is not part of this reading. It's about energies. It's about vibrations, because energies and vibrations don't lie. So in the Queen of Cups reverse, I can definitely see that this person is coming into your life towards the end of May, or should I say resurfacing towards the end of May, because you may already know this person. I can see here in the Tower that they're trying to rebuild. So this is most likely someone who you've already been in contact with, and maybe the relationship didn't work out at that given point in time. You've kind of seen them from afar. Maybe you've seen their profile on social media, or you've chatted a little bit and things fell apart. Things didn't work out. It could be an ex as well, where just overall the relationship ended up in shambles. That is one thing that I can see here in conjunction to the Tower. But in the Queen of Cups reverse, they're trying to make a comeback. They're trying to come back into your life and just show you how much they've grown. But I can see here in the Four of Swords that it's most likely not going to be reciprocated, group number 3. I can see that you're very much focused on your health being your wealth, both mentally as well as physically, and you just don't have time for the same pattern, for the same cycle, or any type of drama whatsoever. So in the Four of Swords, group number 3, I definitely see that you're not going to give them the attention that they were looking for, and that in May you're looking more for something like really fresh, for someone that you don't know. I can see here in the Nine of Crystals that looking back at everything that you've been through and at hurt that certain people have caused, you don't want to go back and you don't want to start at the beginning again. Okay, you're so close to overcoming a lot of trauma that you've experienced in your past that you feel it would be sabotaging yourself and your well-being to go back, which is true, group number 3, and very strong of you. Literally, I just said very strong of you, and here we have the Strength card reversed. So you may not feel that way. You may feel as though maybe you're being mean for turning certain people down, or maybe people will think like you feel you're above them, or that you're stuck up. There's so many different things that you may be worried about, but I do see here in the Strength card reverse that there's no reason for you to worry, group number 3. In the Strength card reverse, I can see that your strength comes from a place of deep self-love and of understanding what you need romantically and not wanting to settle for less. So that is something that you should keep going. That is something that your guides really love about you, the fact that you're strong and the fact that you are fearless and bold. And if you need to wait until the right person comes in who can embrace you in your truest form, then that's something that you should do for yourself. Okay, we do have someone trying to come back into your life from your past during the month of May, and that's fine, that's okay, but you do not have to let them in. You do not have to give them a chance, and it's most likely healthier for you to completely move on. Let's do a few charms, group number 3. So first up, we have this sea star. So I can see here in this sea star that there's movement going on beneath the surface. So you're most likely going to grow and learn a lot more than you ever expected. I can see here in the scissor in conjunction to the sea star that cutting ties is part of that movement. Okay, cutting ties when it comes to the Nine of Crystals, letting go of exes and of the past, and of course moving forward as a person. Let's come back to the Five of Pills, which was the first card that we chose for you. Let's see what charm pops up. We have the key. So I do see here in this beautiful key that has like this little rose detail here, group number 3, that forward movement as well as keeping yourself busy is what is going to make you feel happiest and most fulfilled during the month of May. Okay, don't dwell too much on anyone trying to come back into your life. Know that if you feel like you just need to move on from that person and that relationship, then that's just how it is and what you should do. Then lastly, we have this beautiful ballerina, group number 3. This ballerina stands for discipline. It stands for strength, like we spoke about here in the strength card reversed. So if you actually did at one point practice ballet or another sport that is kind of similar to it, you may feel like getting back into it or just feeling very nostalgic about it during the month of May. But just as an overall message, I want you to know here in the ballerina that this is a symbol of strength. This is a symbol of keeping yourself poised, of keeping yourself in a space where you're proud with your head held high, and of being sure-footed, okay, of not allowing any doubts to creep in and reminding yourself of who you are in those moments of doubt so that they dissipate and you continue to be fearless, to be strong and bold. That will help you overcome any obstacles that are here during the month of May. So group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Leave a little rhino emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end and that this is the group that you chose. Thank you so much for being a part of this reading, group number 3. I really enjoyed receiving these messages for you and talking to you about what's going on in your love life during the month of May. Know that I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. This is by Colette Baron Reid. She is one of my favorite deck creators ever. You should check her out. Also on Instagram, she's very active. Let's move into your reading in order to figure out what's coming towards your love life during the month of May. First and foremost, we have the Fox Spirit. Now, group number 4, in the Fox Spirit, I can see you thinking on your feet, things moving very quickly, and you being highly adaptable, just like a fox. Now, let's see why this is going to be necessary or important during the month of May. We have the Nightingale Spirit. So I can see here that love is something that's all around, romantic love especially. So this shows me that there are a lot of people who are interested in you, group number 4, and you're thinking on your feet, you're adapting, you're figuring out exactly who would be best for you to be with long term, and you're going on dates, you're experimenting, you're unafraid to put yourself out there. I can see here in the Whale Spirit that rather than feeling like you have to decide immediately, you're going with the flow and you're allowing your heart to make the decisions for you, which is an amazing way to move forward in love, group number 4. So this is something that I applaud you for and I want you to be proud of. I do want you to know here in the Nightingale Spirit that because love is all around, this leads to the conclusion that during the month of May, you're just in a way very dazzling, okay? You have this irresistible energy about you. May is really a favorable month for your love life. Next up, we have the Giraffe Spirit. Now, group number 4, in the Giraffe Spirit, I see you looking into the future with everyone who you meet and who you're forging a romantic connection with. So rather than feeling like you could just be with somebody for a short amount of time, for a short period of time, you would rather meet a lot of people and go on many dates and just ask yourself whether you can see things moving forward with this person for years or decades before committing. So you are taking things in a very quick, light-hearted way, and you don't feel like you need to settle when it comes to dating. So that way you're able to meet lots of different characters and personalities. But when it comes then to committing, you can commit and be 100% sure that you chose the right person because you've met a lot of different people, and the person who you end up choosing and being with is someone who you can see the big picture with, just as the Giraffe Spirit suggests, and who you can see a real future with. Next up, we have the Eagle Spirit. So in the Eagle Spirit, group number 4, this is a message from your guides telling you that they have your back. When it comes to your love life, don't worry, don't feel as though May may be a tumultuous month. Your spirit guides have your back. They have your best intentions at heart, and I can definitely see from how your reading has started up until this point that things are favorable for you, group number number 4, and that there's nothing to be worried about. Let's move further into your reading to see what other details will emerge about your love life. So we have the Two of Cups. This is a very favorable card for love. So this ties in beautifully with what we just spoke about with your reading, starting off on a very favorable note. The Two of Cups is all about two people coming together and forming a deep connection, a deep bond. This could, of course, be a romantic relationship, but it could also be a business partnership, okay? You shaking hands with someone and taking a pact or making a deal with someone when it comes to business, and just overall a relationship that requires trust from both sides. I can see here in the Knight of Pentacles that this is the type of person who you're giving your trust, your love, and your affection to. The Knight of Pentacles is the Knight of Earth signs, okay? Because the Suit of Pentacles corresponds to Earth signs. Pentacles equals Earth, group number 4. Remember that. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. And in the Knight, we have someone who is strong, who is courageous, and who is very much kind of getting movement into the picture. So this could be an entrepreneur. This could just overall be someone who has a lot of earth sign energy within their chart. Okay, they're an earth sign, maybe in their sun sign, their moon sign, their rising sign. I can see here in the Knight of Pentacles in conjunction to the Two of Cups that this is a very favorable prospect for a long-term relationship, for someone who you can actually be with in the long run, group number 4. I can see here in the King of Wands that there is another person who is a part of your love life during the month of May. I do see here in the King of Wands that this is someone who is older than the Knight of Pentacles. This is someone who is more experienced, but at the same time maybe therefore also more rigid in their ways. So as we spoke about, you have this irresistible energy and air about you during the month of May, which is why you have a lot of different options to choose from when it comes to love, group number 4. So we have the King of Wands being one person, we have the Knight of Pentacles being another. So it's all up to you whether you want to be with someone who is maybe more established but more rigid in their ways, or somebody who is a little bit more fun, inspired, and still on their road to figuring out what they want to do, but you could be a part of molding them. So this is your choice, group number 4. Next up, we have the Queen of Wands. So in the Queen of Wands, I do see another player. Okay, so it's almost like this is not even a love triangle because now we have a third person, right? This is almost like a love square, I guess, group number 4. So in the Queen of Wands, we have yet another person who has more feminine energy than the King of Wands. And they are too very interested in you. So the Wands are fire signs. These are people who are very heavy when it comes to Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo energy. Okay, they are people who are passionate, who are adventurous, and who overall are more action-packed than the rest of the zodiac. I can see here in the Azurite that you are the focal point when it comes to love, okay? A lot of people are watching your stories. They're following you on social media. They're trying to be on the lookout for what you're doing and how they can be a part of it. So again, group number 4, you're irresistible during the month of May, and people are really focusing on you. They're focusing on seeing where you're going next and how your love life develops. I can see here in the Appetite that this is something that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable at times because maybe you're not used to being the center of attention, or you just overall do not like to be the focal point in this type of sense in a romantic way. So this is definitely something that you're not used to. May is definitely a month romantically that kind of throws you off a little bit, but it helps you build confidence and it helps you believe in your lovability more. And by lovability, I mean it helps you believe more and more that you are worthy of love and that more people find you attractive than you ever thought possible. Next up, we have the Three of Crystals reversed. So let's see if we can just focus on this card. There we go. Group number 4, in the Three of Crystals reversed, I can see that you're going to have to leave someone behind. So during the month of May, only 2 of these people are going to move forward to the next month, and one person is going to have to be left behind. So it's almost like, what are those shows, like The Bachelor and, you know, the other like show, what was one of those Flavor of Love? You know what I mean, group number 4. Those shows where there's just one person that everyone's fighting for and they need to move into the next rounds in order to get closer to winning. So it's almost like you are the master of ceremony when it comes to that, the MC of love, group number 4, and you decide who moves on into the future with you and who you have to leave behind. And that decision has to be made. I can see in the 3 of Crystals reversed that this is showing up reversed because you're feeling uncomfortable and you're trying to delay this decision-making process because it's just not something that you want to do. You don't want to hurt anyone. I can see here in the 2 of Swords that, again, you're trying to procrastinate, but it is completely clear in the 2 of Swords that the decision has to be made and nobody can make it for you. You need to make this choice for yourself, group number 4. So the moon is up here in this card because you have to make this decision intuitively. You have to just listen to your gut feeling. And then we also have your eyes covered up, blindfolded, because this is a representation of you. So I do want you to know here in the 2 of Swords that only your intuition can guide you. Nothing that anyone will say or do is going to be able to show you who's right for you, okay? So think of your senses being blocked, okay? Not being able to hear anything, not being able to see what any of these contestants or people are doing. You just have to decide based on your intuition and what your heart is telling you to do, group number 4, which is tough, but at the same time, once you learn to make these decisions intuitively when it comes to your love life, you're going to be so thankful because it's going to get so much easier. Moving forward, we have the 4 of Crystals reversed. So in the 4 of Crystals reversed, I can see that stability is something that you have, but the other people involved in your love life do not. So during the month of May, you're going to feel as though you're taking the rug out from underneath other people, and this is something that you don't like to do, but at the same time you can't be with everyone. You know, that hurts everyone in the long run so much more. So it's almost like a dilemma being so popular, group number 4. And I do see here in the 4 of Crystals reverse that you're feeling a little bit anxious and a little bit uncomfortable because of this. Next up, we have the Star reverse. But at the same time, I can see here that when it comes to the rational part of you, when it comes to the part of you that loves to reason, that loves to kind of like argue with yourself about what the best way to move forward really is, I can see here in the Star that you understand that decisions need to be made, that doesn't make you a bad person, and that overall this is just how love is. You know, you can't give everyone a chance and you can't be with everyone. You have to sort out who is the most appropriate for you to be with and who is better off with another person. So really think of it as doing people who you're rejecting a favor because you're not pretending, right? You're not allowing them to be led on any longer. Next up, we have the Beaver. So in the Beaver, I can see here that during the month of May, group number 4, you're definitely just creating your own dream love life, so to say. So you're completely taking matters into your own hands. You're completely taking the lead on this, which is awesome. Just like a beaver actually creates like whole ecosystems, I can see that you're doing the same. You're creating spaces and pockets in your love life where you feel safe. You're cultivating relationships that you feel make sense and that you feel can actually grow into that forever relationship. So moving forward with just 2 people rather than the 3, and kind of narrowing it down more and more is creating the love life that you desire. Next up, we have the Spotted Skunk. So in the Spotted Skunk, I can see here that you're finally standing up for yourself during the month of May, group number 4. And this is much needed, especially if you've been pushed around or you've in the past always allowed people to choose you or choose another person, but either way you would just stand in the lineup and just hope to be chosen or hope to be considered. I can see here in the Spotted Skunk that rather than just being a second choice or just being a choice for someone else. Like, you're standing up for yourself and you're now deciding. So if you've ever been like in gym class in school and you're not the first one to be picked but closer to the middle or last, that feeling of just being in that row hoping that the team captain or one of the team captains is going to pick you, that's an anxious feeling you're not going to have anymore, especially not during the month of May, as I can see here in standing up for yourself, that now you're doing the choosing and you're letting other people bite their nails hoping to have a shot with you. Next up, we have the Eastern Oyster. So in the Eastern Oyster, I can see that no matter what results of you doing the picking, you're okay with dealing with consequences, and you're okay with with working with someone who is maybe in a place where they're insecure or you're their very first serious relationship, and turning that into a strength or something beautiful. I can definitely see here in the Eastern Oyster that you're someone who is patient, caring, and loving, and you'll give someone the time of day if they are a good person, even if they still need a lot of work to be like your perfect someone in a relationship. Then last but not least, we have the Blue Damselfly. So group number 4, in the Blue Damselfly, I can see that spending time in nature is what you're going to do mostly on dates, okay, being outside. Not necessarily because you want to, maybe that's just the only place that you're allowed to be in right now when it comes to restrictions in your area or your country, but I see that that's actually going to have a really profoundly positive effect on your dating life and your relationships, because it will just charge you up with this amazing energy. People seeing you in the sunlight, okay, in direct natural lighting, just makes you even more magnetic, magical, and beautiful. So this is a really good look for you, being out in the nature, going on dates or meeting people outside rather than in some sort of establishment or in some sort of setting that isn't so natural. So group number 4, this is the reading that I received for you. It is highly favorable, okay? Chances are high that, you can get into a relationship. I can see that here in the 2 of Cups. It is your choice. So it's all about how quickly you want to move forward or how much time that you want to take in order to get to know all of the quote unquote contestants, I've been calling these people who are romantically interested in you, who are in your life during the month of May. So group number 4, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading and that it resonated. Thank you so much for spending this divine time with me. I appreciate you more than you know. And if you're still here during this point of your reading, leave a little star emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know. And group number 4, if no one has told you this today, let me be the one to say it. You're beautiful, you're worthy, and you're strong and capable. Know that I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for spending this divine time with me, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos.